this is another nostalgic spin episode. I'm gonna be reviewing Batman Beyond, the animated series. Love this series. Love this series to death. I'm gonna first kind of state this. I was born in the year of 1993, so I didn't grow up on the original Batman or anything. I know I did see some episodes, but the episodes I've seen of the series was the adventures of Batman and Robin. Like, I say, like, season 2, like, I didn't grow up on season 3. Like, I saw reruns of season 2, then when season 3 came out, I watched it, so I wasn't a big, I didn't know, basically, that much of all the characters of the Batman universe. So, that was, like, the first series that got me into Batman. Was Batman Beyond. Was kind of like an edgier tone to Batman. Not like a dark edge, but like it was like a teen angst animated series, which was Batman Beyond. It had Terry McGinnis becoming Batman. It voiced I forget the actor in it, but I remember he was the older brother in Boy Meets World, who was like the womanizing. Wilfredi, or whatever, I forget how his last name is pronounced anyway. He voiced him in this series. It was really fun. It's such a great series growing up with. I watched all the episodes, but like, looking back at the series, it's like, the basic memories of the show, like, it's so that you remember watching as a kid, but you don't remember all the episodes when you think about the series. Kind of like that, like you watched all the episodes, like they're so hard to remember every single detail from the series. Like this is one of the series I want to own on DVD, and it's out on DVD. Someday, one day, maybe I'll get all these series on DVD and stuff like that, and have like my own little. I'm just a big comic geek, and I like Batman Beyond. I didn't know much about the character of Batman. So what you talking about? Yeah, I didn't know about Batman. It was just like, this was a different Batman. I just didn't know what to expect. I know it's based off of Batman Beyond. I think it's a Batman graphic novel, I believe the series was based off of. It's just a great series that I grew up with. It was just Terry McGinnis being a hot-headed kid who didn't know anything until he comes across in this series. We do find out from Justice League Unlimited, I forget what episode, where we find out Bruce is actually Terry's dad. We find out in that, but I think that was like like almost like a nod. Well, I'm not saying like a nod to Damian Wayne. You know, if they had like a what if story of what if Batman settled down, and he settled down with Catwoman and Selena Kyle, I think, and he had a son called Damian Wade. But anyway, this series is a really great series. Not bad. I enjoyed the animation. For its animation, it was pretty good at its time, and I just remember watching the series. Get what it was on. I forget. Was that Kids WB? I remember watching this on like older episodes too, and this series had its crossover with other characters in its own universe. I remember Static Shock's crossover, and I remember the Justice League crossover with those shows. They were just so great, funny shows I just remember growing up with. Batman Beyond is just like another great series that I grew up with. It was just so fun to grow up with this show because it was so great. The characters were funny. Terry McGinnis being a little weird, but not socially awkward, but he was like, I really loved the show because it did so many different versions of other older Batman characters. Like, we get an episode with Bane. It was like about drugs, and we find out that Bane, the host of Bane, it was just like all like different spins on Batman's characters. But I do remember this one movie I know I have to talk about it because it ties in with the series in the Batman series. So, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. I have to admit that was a great series too. That was a great movie too. I remember watching on Cartoon Network when it came on. It was just, man, that whole flashback scene with Batman. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, I was like literally fucked up. Sorry for my language, but seriously, that was like one screwed up moment of the series. That was a little weird. That came a little weird to me. But Batman Beyond was just a great show. I remember one episode. It was like, what was it? That he came across like the Justice League, which was like an I forget the characters, but it had Superman and a newer Green Lantern, Warhawk. I remember seeing Warhawk in the series. It was like a different revamped of the series. It was just like a whole long time since I remember all these series. I remember this one episode where it was because they have these series on Hub and I don't have the Hub, and I just remember. I remember watching this one episode where it was like Ace. We found out was like was in like dog bites, and I remember seeing that episode. That was a good episode too. And another nostalgic episode was the episode where Terry was kind of framed for murdering somebody, and we find out like an older villain from the series, and Barbara Gordon was like the chief of police in the future, which I kind of liked to that. And it was like, it's just, the series was all fun, like a great nostalgic episode. Like if you get me talking about Batman, this would be like one of the series I would like to talk about. And I like the pilot episode. It starts off almost as like a Batman the Animated Series episode, like where Bruce Wayne was trying to be Batman even though he was old, and he created a new suit and all that stuff. It was just an all-around fun show. I remember growing up with. It was so great. I remember watching Batman Beyond all the time. It was just a fun show. If you liked it, go ahead. I think there are some kind of episodes on YouTube, but I'm not sure. But I think episode clips. I think and like a featurette on talking about the Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. This series is all around fun too, and I hope you guys enjoy this review. For a review from, I don't know, it's just a great series. Hope you guys enjoy.